Hello there, good evening, and welcome to Strong and Sassy on Joy 99.7 FM. Now, tonight we're delving into a topic that resonates with so many strong, resilient, and amazing women out there: single motherhood and finding love. Now, being a single mother is no easy feat. I mean, you can ask whoever you know is a single parent, but it's important to remember that love and companionship is not out of reach for you. Now, in tonight's show, we'll explore the unique challenges faced by single mothers when it comes to finding love and maintaining healthy relationships. And of course, our expert guest, which includes a counseling psychologist and a mental health nurse, will provide, valuable insights and practical advices to empower all the incredible single mothers tuning in tonight. So again, this is Strong and Sassy. It's live on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Noella Kharyne Yalley. Of course, I'm sitting in for your regular queen, Inimwa Inim Ado. Let me remind you that we're live on Facebook and YouTube as well. And so your thoughts, comments, you're welcome. You can share them via our WhatsApp number, which is 0555. I beg your pardon, 055 111 997. That's 055 111 997. Of course, I'm delighted to host you to this conversation. So I've got one of my guests right here in the studio with me. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I love it. So introduce yourself.
Okay, so I'm Brenda. I'm a mental health nurse at the
Great.
Bracca Polyclinic,
Okay.
and I'm a single mom.
Right. I love that. Anyway, you're welcome once again.
Thank you.
And so Natalie will be joining us in a jiffy. But let's start the conversation. And I guess I'd start by asking, is it hard to find love as a single mother?
Very. It is very, very hard, and I think it stems from the misconception because mostly it's like, okay, so if the father of the child is not with you, you might have done something wrong. That's why. Or maybe if the person comes into your life, you go back to your child's father. But what people forget is that maybe the child's father has passed, or that they separated without, like, beyond reconciliation. So the father may not,
That's
come
okay.
back.
Right.
So I think those factors too should equally be considered, because sometimes some people are not. I don't think anybody wants to be a single parent by choice. No, I think situations. So we should always give the benefit of the
But
doubt.
is it something that for the women who, let's say, the partners you left aren't dead, they're very much alive, in leaving that relationship, is it something you consider that, hey, I'm leaving this relationship, I have a kid or I have two kids with this person, finding love again might be difficult for me? Is it something that you consider before taking that bold step of leaving the relationship?
Okay, for me personally, I think mine wasn't like that. It wasn't like we were together. Yeah, okay, we were dating before I got pregnant. Yes, but I didn't want. I don't think I ever considered that. Oh, maybe I have to stay because I have to force to be with him because of the kid. Although, like, the necessary things. Oh, okay, I'm with child for you. This. Yeah, but I think the concept of being a single parent, especially for women, it's more or less like a stigma. So most people would rather stay in a toxic or abusive relationship just because they don't want to have that stigma of being a single parent. But I mean, I always tell people, if being a single parent gives you peace of mind and you have your life, it's worth it than being in an environment that wouldn't help you or the child. Because in as much as you feel you're the one being affected by whatever environment you find yourself, the child equally is affected one way or the other. Maybe subconsciously you think you are protecting the child, but look, kids see more than we adults give them credit for. Yeah, so I think to me, I have been all my, like, 16 years a single mom. So
Oh, 16 years.
yes, and
Right.
I have my family support. My family have played that's why it was a bit easier for me because they were there. So I have a strong support system.
Right.
Yeah. So some people don't have that support system. That's how come it makes it hard for others. So because the person doesn't have the support system, I'd rather be in this situation because there is nobody out there who would understand me. But it shouldn't be so.
Right. So in that 16 years, I'm sorry, but I mean, do you mind me asking? Right.
don't
So
mind.
in that 16 years that you have been a single mom, have you found love again?
Yes. I'm dating actually.
Okay, you're dating,
Yes,
right.
I'm dating. But the journey to getting me to where I am now, it wasn't an easy one because after I had my girl, I was a bit all over the place because my life had changed and I didn't even have anybody to actually explain to me why my life is changing because it comes with responsibilities and I mean responsibilities is a baby, a human being. How do you handle that human being? Because you have to nurture that child
Right.
to grow. So it's like I threw myself into the sea and I have to learn how to swim.
Right.
Yes. And in the beginning, being in a relationship, it was a bit hard because I don't think I was, as at then, the beginning, I wasn't looking for commitment because it's like,
Why weren't you looking for
I
commitment?
think it was, I was a bit self-conscious or...
that you had a child.
Yes.
Okay.
But I always, when you meet me, the first thing I tell you, I'm a mom. I always, it's something I don't hide. I don't, as for my daughter, I don't hide her from. I always say I'm a mom. That's the first thing I'll let you know because I don't want it like, hey, and you didn't tell me you're a child. So I'll tell you there's somebody who is looking up to me. So if you are going to get on this boat, know that it's not just me. Yeah, but I would not introduce the child to the person because at the back of my mind, if it doesn't work out, you have to now try
Psych
to
your child again with another
and then it
person.
starts the whole process. So one thing I don't do is if I know the relationship is not going to go anywhere, there's no contact between
With
my
you,
partner and
okay.
but it was hard because maybe I was young. I didn't know where my life was going. So there were decisions I made while I was dating after I had my daughter that now, knowing the things I know, I don't think I would have done that. Now knowing the things I know. So it has been a journey. But for me, I always try to learn. I mean, if a relationship goes bad, I sit back. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What can I do better? And that has been how I've been to I am where I am today.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the number of things that let's say you considered prior to you having a kid, with your former partner, and I mean post that, in the number of things that you considered in dating a man, is there a distinctive difference between the two?
Yes.
The things you look out for in finding a
Yeah.
partner now and then,
Okay,
and
then
how different is it?
I think then I was a bit selfish because I was only thinking about myself, what I could get from it. But now getting a partner means getting somebody who
Right.
is going to be there for me and my daughter,
Okay.
and somebody who is going to look out for both of us, and we equally do the same thing. So I don't want to, now with my field, I mean the abuses and all of that, I don't want to be with a man that would want me choosing between him and my daughter, because no matter what, no matter how good you are, I mean in all aspects, I'll always choose my daughter over any man any day.
But is that not a bit unfair?
To the man,
You could meet a man who ticks all your boxes.
yeah.
He is compassionate, he's kind, but when it comes to your daughter, he's a bit, but he loves you. He treats you just fine. Is it fair to judge him by how much he loves your daughter when you are finding love?
No, it's not he loving my daughter. It's he accepting the fact that
You have a
come
child.
with that child, because coming into my life, the child is a part of me, and there is nothing I can do to separate that child from me. Yes, maybe the child might not stay with us, maybe the child might be in school or something, but when you are talking about me, as at now, if anybody wants to talk about me, that child is an extension of me.
Okay.
No matter how you put it, the child is an extension of me, and that is just it. There, you can't take it out.
Anyway, let's introduce Natalia, who just joined us. Natalia, introduce yourself, please. You came late.
I know. I'm so sorry. Car trouble. Yes, but my name is Natalia, and I think that's enough. Honestly, I always have a hard time when I have to introduce myself because
Right.
I don't even know what exactly to say. Yes, but I think that maybe to cut it short, I can say I'm Natalia. I'm a media personality. I think that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good intro.
I know you're a counseling psychologist as
Yes,
well.
I am.
Great.
Yes, I am.
Great.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'd give you a whooping when we're done with the
I
show.
know. Forgive me, Noella.
That's okay. So we're talking about the topic, obviously. So let me start by asking you how difficult it is finding love as a single mother.
Gosh, it is difficult. It's actually very difficult finding love as a single mother because you have a tag. You have a tag that says maybe you're not very responsible. Maybe you're a difficult person. Also, it depends on how old you are. If you are anything below 25, also depending on how many children we're talking
have.
about and how old they are, anybody can easily assume that, Akola Bonnie. Obviously, you can't be 22 and have an 8-year-old or a 7-year-old. It's like, okay, if you do the math, oh, wow, you were having sex when you were, 16 or whatever. And so people tend to be very judgmental. That's number one. But if you're a little older, then there's a question of, have you been married before? The kids that you're having, did they come out of a marriage? Or were you a single person and you've had kids? Then there's a question of how many kids do you have? Do you have 2 or 3? 1, 2, or 3. If it's more than one, okay, are they from the same father? If it's 2 or 3 from the same man, it's like, okay, then you're tied to that man. No other man can get your attention because if you have 3 children with one individual, obviously he would have a hold on you and dating you will be tough. If it is from different fathers, then you're, promiscuous.
Right.
How have you had 2 different children from 2? So it is tough. Whichever angle you attack it from,
It's
it
tough.
comes with a lot of questions. People always have a lot of questions. So it's not the easiest place to be. However, knowing who you are as a person and what you want, there's always a way you can communicate for whoever is coming into your life to see and know and understand that
Right.
maybe this is who I am, or these are the circumstances surrounding whatever you think is, But listen, I've always maintained that, I'm not a single mother anymore, but, back when I was, I'd always say that single mothers are really the most responsible women you can get with, because they're always thinking about what's the next step, taking care of this and that, and all of that. So they are actually really responsible. A lot of the time I've said that if I didn't have kids at the time that I did, oh my God, I'm sure I would have been like, I don't know,
Right.
uncontrollable and
Just living your life.
all over the place,
Right.
if you may. But it grounds you because you know that, you have responsibility. You have this and that to do.
But because you mentioned marriage at some point in your submission, I guess I'll ask, is it a bit easier for you to find a man when they find out that you had your kid out of a marriage as compared to, I just had it,
It is easier.
When it's from a marriage.
Yes, it's
Okay.
easier when people feel like you were married, you had kids, the marriage didn't work, you're moving on. It's people accept it more easily than you've never been married. You have 2 kids with 2 men. Unacceptable. Once upon a time, I had there was a guy I was dating whose mom said to me in my face that I must be a very bad person. Reason why I had a child whose father didn't stay with me. She didn't mince words, so it was very direct, As we were having lunch and questions and answers. And then she just said it to my face that, wow, I mean, to think that you have a child with a man and why didn't he stay with you? You must not be a very good person, you know? And yeah, people can just judge you just by the mere fact that they know that you have a child and maybe you were not married when you had the child, you know? And so it's unfortunate, but this is where we find ourselves. Our social settings do not really allow for you to grow much as a person because maybe you have a child or children out of wedlock.
Right.
It is tough.
Right. Now, I'm sorry, I come back to you. Because you mentioned that you are no longer a single parent. By that, you mean you're married now or you're in a relationship?
I'm
It's a tough one.
It's tough.
That's
tough.
okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I would ask, what were the things you looked out for in your partner to settle for him?
You know, I actually like someone who's really thoughtful. Okay. They don't even, because, you know, when I settled with the person I settled with at the time, half the time he made me even forget that, oh, these kids are not your kids, you know, because we're planning and doing everything around the kids for the kids. At some point I actually forgot that, oh wait, you and me don't have any kids yet, you know. And in all of the planning and implementing, he would include the children. Like it was a long weekend ahead. It's okay, this weekend we're doing this and that. Or maybe if we're going out of town, he would say that I got like maybe adjoining rooms, and so the kids can be here and all of that. And I felt that was really considerate. Like, you know, people are, because prior to meeting him, you have people who are pursuing you, and every time they're complaining because you don't make time. Because I have a very busy day. And then when I get home, I have to take care of the kids. So sometimes somebody will say, let's have dinner. And also, I'm really tired. And I've now gotten home. I need to take care of the kids. And after a while, they get tired and leave, you know, because they feel like, Charlie, you have your hands full. And every time they'll say, you know what? I don't think you're ready for a relationship. You have your hands full. You have your hands full. But this one came, and he wasn't bothered at all.
Right.
Because even sometimes when I would complain that I have had a long day and I just go home and I want to do this and that for the kids. In the beginning, it was a bit difficult. But one day he said, is it okay if I come by? Can I come by? And I thought, oh, I mean, why not? Yes, you can, you know. And then he came.
Right.
And brought dinner for everybody. So he asked, okay, what do the kids want? Do they want this and that? Brought dinner. We all sat down, ate, you know, had a little bit of conversations with the kids. And so it kind of made me feel like, oh, this is a thoughtful person, you know, and it makes you believe that this must be someone who is actually really interested. Because otherwise, why would he waste his time?
I see.
You know?
So there's a question I asked Brenda. I'm going to ask you later. But let me come back to you, Brenda.
Okay.
Do you think women become less choosy in looking out for a partner after having a kid from their previous relationship?
Yeah, I think most people do that. It's not consciously, I think subconsciously, and it's because they've been told, like, repeatedly, like, not in plain words, but like, you don't deserve you're a single mom. So I think some single mothers start putting themselves down. So you have a certain standard, and because it's like, even our mothers will say, you know, so then you start lowering your standard, then you end up settling for something that on the normal you wouldn't. Yeah, so I think sometimes it's unconscious. So I think it's up to you, the single mom, to say that, look, I want what is best for me and for my child or for my children. So when somebody is telling you that your standards are too high because you're a single mom, it's all the person, if you can't meet up to the standard, I mean, you can go.
You can go.
Because there's definitely somebody who will definitely meet up to that standard.
But depending on the age of your child, is it prudent to seek your thoughts on your partner before settling on them? because you've been with this child for a long
time,
time, you want to seek your opinion about this person that you're seeing. Ope Brad Joe and I say open kind of thing.
I think yes. I think sometimes you should, and I think some single parents who concentrate so much on keeping the man, so they tend to leave the kids out. So the child comes to you. Maybe there is something about this man that is not, the child is not comfortable with. The child comes to you, then you are like, hey, what person will say my warrior now? Like, you know how I struggle to get this guy. So then you stop listening to the child.
Right.
But I don't think it should be so, because at the end of the day, you have to be able to live together as a family. So if your child is being affected by who you are with, then you as a parent, I mean, we are supposed to parent, we are supposed to protect. So if there is something that is not, unless the child is mischievous and the child is selfish, there are some children that are very selfish. No matter how good you bring Jesus, that is the man you want to be with, and the child would sabotage it big time.
I was actually coming to that, because there are people who would argue that maybe at whatever age the child is, they don't really know what's going on. Maybe their minds are not at a point where they can comprehend
And
whatever
what
that's
is
what's happening.
No, I think kids know.
Okay.
Kids know. And I
So
think
it's prudent for women to listen to their kids.
yes. And I think the kids sometimes see things we
Don't see.
don't see.
Right.
Like you get so much into the person that the other things that you are supposed to look out for,
You go blind.
You go blind to them. But the kid is sitting behind
and can see.
And sometimes when you are single and a child draws your attention to it, that, oh, mommy, this, I mean, take a moment. The kid might be lying or not, but take a moment, sit down and analyze it yourself. Like, oh, let me look at this from this child's point of view. Maybe I'm not seeing something the child is seeing. And then you can ask other people, oh, do you think the child is going over, or so that
There's a
you
point
strike
there.
a balance. Yeah, striking a balance is very good.
Natalia, do you agree?
Okay, which one? He asked like
So
two or
I
three
asked two questions. So the first one is, actually, let's deal with the second one, because I've forgotten a bit. So whether or not you would seek the advice of your child in settling for. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, before it gets to that point, they must have familiarized, the children or your child and the man in question must have familiarized. And I'm not quick to introduce children to the
Something
person
she
I'm
mentioned as
dating,
well.
because if you're not careful, typically Ghana man, you keep changing men. So your child will think there's something wrong with my mother.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't be quick to introduce a man to your child. I mean, it has to get to a point where you're absolutely sure that this man has proven beyond reasonable doubts that he wants to be with you. Also, having children is not the first conversation I would have with you when I meet a man. No, we will have
Get
all
to know
kinds
who
of
you are.
conversations, and then I would let you know that my guy, back then I'd say I have a daughter.
But wouldn't that be unfair? Because if you wait and let's say you get to know this person, maybe during that time, the person gets to fall in love with you, and so you wait for him to fall in love with you before
Not
telling him that you have a
necessarily.
child.
Not necessarily. I won't have I have a child conversation on our first date or second date, unless our conversations veer into that direction.
Right.
Then obviously, but if it doesn't, it's you and me on the first date. We talk about everything else. Then eventually, maybe on the third date, we can talk about our, we'll go a little deeper, and I'll let you know that, oh, yes, I have a daughter, this and that. And then, obviously, at that point, you can make a decision. Do I still want to continue seeing this woman or not? If you do continue to see me, now you know I have a child. I'm sure every now and again. So now I would observe how you treat this information I've given you. For someone who's pursuing me, I want to see how you're treating this information. Are you the kind of person who, in all of our phone calls, would you ask, oh, how's Cookie doing? okay, or oh, is she there? Can I say hi or something like that? I mean, I won't let you say hi, obviously, but I want to see how you treat that information. Okay, like if you call me on a random, oh, how are the kids or something like that. I want to know that it matters to you. You know, it's important that it matters to you. So after we go through a certain phase, and I feel like it's okay that you meet my children, then you can meet them. But even that, it's still tricky because when you meet them, I want to be sure that they are comfortable with you. So that meeting will also make certain decisions for me, you know, because obviously for me, I mean, my children first. Quite frankly, I don't think I at this point in my life, I don't think I need a man for anything much, honestly, because I can do pretty much everything by myself, including the bad, if you know what I mean. So it won't be a problem if my kids don't like you. You will go out the door, you know.
Okay.
I'm not.
So that's to say you would render a man a no,
If my kids don't like you,
yeah.
no way. How can
Okay.
I get with you when my kids don't like you? I live with my kids. How would you survive in that space when my kids don't like you?
So a man can be doing everything right, but
Yes, you still have to
and
go.
It's a no.
If my kids don't like you, it won't work. You understand? Because I live with my kids. And if you're going to be with us, it's not as if the kids will go anywhere else or disappear. So it's...
But don't you think that's the problem?
How so?
Because one would say, I'm playing the devil's advocate here.
Okay.
One would say that it's you. I mean, you're the one searching for love. It's you I want.
I'm not searching for
I didn't
love.
sign up for your
You came to
kid.
pursue me.
Okay.
I'm not searching for
But I
love.
didn't sign up for your kid.
Fair enough. But here's the thing. It's a package deal, unfortunately.
Okay.
I mean, you're pursuing me. You find out, oh, Natalia has kids. I'm sorry. You can make a decision and say, and I have met people who have said to me blatantly, I can't date a woman with kids. And I respect that. So they know what they want. So immediately when you find out I have kids, you can immediately say that, I'm sorry, I can't date a woman who has kids. And I will respect that.
Right.
You know, no harm, no foul. But if you continue it's
Right.
a package deal.
Right.
And if my kids do not like you, I cannot get with you. It won't make sense. Unless, of course, I feel like you're good for another thing. I can keep you in some corner and doing something else with you in some corner, you know, on the blind side of my kids. That's another conversation.
Right.
But to have you in my life is impossible if my kids do not like you. It won't... It's not even a conversation I'm willing to have.
How about your standards? Do you drop?
No, absolutely not.
You keep them high.
Absolutely not. Because here's the thing. Me having kids doesn't make me less intelligent. It doesn't make me less classy. It doesn't make me less nothing. I'm just as good as any other single woman out there without children. In any case, I think one of the problems that people have is sometimes they feel like, hey, mikosho bimba, I'm sorry. I do very well by myself. In fact, so make no mistake. I don't need you to do anything for my children. Okay? I just need you to acknowledge that I have them, and play a role for them to also acknowledge you in my life. But don't think that I need you to do anything, you know, school fees. Some people have some really warped mentality, say, no. Even if you know what I mean? Because maybe how I've raised them or the kind of standards I've raised them, you can't. You understand? So let's keep it to the you liking me and acknowledging that I have kids and us seeing how we can manage that situation. It's not even a matter of because I have kids, I have to drop my standards and get with just anybody. No, I will get with the man I want to get with who is pursuing me.
Right.
It has nothing to do with me having kids. Absolutely not.
Brenda, so I have a couple of messages here for you.
Okay.
Will she fine? Okay, I'm not sure I get this question. But what kind of support did your family give you? You mentioned earlier that your family supported you. Did they take over taking care of your child?
Yes, they help. Like, because I was in school when I had my girl, so and I had to drop out of school for I was in nurses training. Let me put it. I was in nurses training. I wasn't in SHS. I was in nurses training, so I had to drop out a bit. And I mean, I was not on salary, but my brother, my father, my mom, my sisters, my aunties, everybody. When my grandma was alive, she took my girl. She was about 10 months. She took her so that I can go back to school and finish school. You know, so everybody was there. So it's like, for my family, it's a thing we do in my family. My family, they don't leave you hanging. No matter what, everybody pitches in to help anybody out. So when you need the help, they are there to give you that help. So it wasn't so much of a strain on me, but still, you still feel it, because there are certain roles, no matter how much the family would do, you as a parent, you equally have to come in and do. So I mean, that's how it has been till now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I get back to you, Brenda, but Natalia, you have a lot of questions. So it
Okay.
says, will you be okay if a man ticks all your boxes, your child loves him, but does not support you financially in terms of fees, whatever, or even you?
I feel like that's not a complete question.
Because you mentioned
How
that
does he check all the boxes if he doesn't support me financially? He doesn't check all the boxes then. I mean, obviously. So here's the saying, and I say it, today's woman is very capable of taking care of their own affairs. Seriously. You'll not believe the number of things women do. Like, I know a lot of women who are doing this and that. And let me not say a lot of women, myself. I do so many things.
right.
Some days I don't even know how I'm doing it, but I do it. I'm doing this and that and that and that and that. And so at the end of the day, to handle my finances is something I'm very capable of, really. However, when you're with someone, you'd expect that. I mean, on my birthday, I'm expecting you to show up, you know, in grand style. You, I don't know, bring me a bouquet of whatever my favorite flowers are, you know, or take me to a fancy dinner. And that will not be my money. That will be your money. You
So
know?
if he does all of that, but let's say when it comes to paying the fees of your child, let's say
No, first
your
of all,
child's dad.
I do not expect a man I'm getting with to pay my children's school fees.
Okay.
I'm not expecting that. No. If you insist, okay, if you're getting with somebody who says, no, this term I
Even
insist.
if it gets to the point of marriage?
If it gets to the point of marriage, we can have that conversation.
Okay.
Okay, because obviously my kids have fathers, okay, or have a father, whatever.
Right.
So it's being handled already. Nobody's, imagine if I have a 19-year-old, you think this whole 19 years I've been waiting for you to come and sort out my life?
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 19 years. I'm fine.
You're good.
You know? But if it's marriage, obviously marriage goes beyond just you and me. Marriage is your mom can pick up the phone and call me to tell me something that's going on, and I should be able to react to it. So obviously, if it's marriage, my children will be a concern for you. So that if you feel like, you know what, I get that maybe their father is taking care of the fees or whatever, but I feel like maybe they're extracurricular, this and that, I can handle it. It's not a problem. But
Right.
I won't expect that of a man, really. I won't.
Right.
Use that money to spoil me.
Right. Let me come back to you, Brenda. How do you navigate the, possible drama that may come up with your ex-baby daddy or husband and your new relationship?
I don't think there's any drama.
Oh, but we've heard of stories. I don't know if you've been monitoring social
but
media.
For me, yes, but for me, my story, I think my story is a bit different because like he's not been in the picture from the word go.
Okay.
So it's not like
He can't come and claim anything.
no.
Right.
As it stands now, no, he
Okay.
can't, because like he's not been in the picture, and there have been efforts from my family's side, from me personally as well, to get him involved in the child's life. But I, for some reason, I don't know what is keeping him, and I don't want to pursue that. I mean, I want my peace of mind. Yes, but even if he should come now, I don't think it would even it will cause any drama. It wouldn't.
It wouldn't. How about you, Natalia?
Oh, I don't think men are as dramatic as women are. In fact,
You think so?
Oh yes,
You've
absolutely.
never heard of the
But you
queen,
see,
the BB Niger queen girl?
Those are few and far between.
Okay.
Men are not as dramatic as women are. I would not. I would worry, and it's so. I mean, I always feel bad about my double standards, but I will not get with a man who has kids.
Oh wow.
And yes, I will not. I will not because of the other woman, because women are extremely dramatic. Women, because I'm a woman myself, we plan and plot and scheme and we do all kinds of things. So me, I dread that. However, with my kid's father and this man I got with, it's so strange. But me, I feel like what is it? What's the problem? You obviously didn't want to stay with me and you left. So what is the problem? It's not like I'm your wife and I'm cheating with someone. It's not a problem. I remember when my dad died, my baby daddy came to the funeral, and at the time met my husband, and they were in the corner smoking in some corner, smoking and chit-chatting. And a lot of my friends who came to the funeral was like, what is going on? Like, how are you able to get these two men to relate so well? And I felt like, but what is there not to relate well about, really? And also because I keep such a great relationship with my baby daddy. In fact, his wife is more my person to have conversations with than him when it comes to the kids. Because she's the one that I do all the planning with. If the kids have vacation, she's calling me, I'm calling her, because so what's the plan for this vacation? Or if there's a long holiday or whatever, she's calling me and saying, oh, what are we doing for the kids and this and that. I don't think there's any... If people can be a lot more mature about these things, I don't think it will be such a big problem. Because the truth is, Noella, if I like you and I want to stay in your life, I will stay in your life. If I don't and I move on and you want to be best friends with the next person, I don't see how that's a problem for me. Because obviously I had the chance to be there and I didn't want to.
Is that not easier said than done?
Oh, it is not easier said than done. Because you see, I feel like the people who cause all the drama and do all of the... It is partly because they are selfish. They are not thinking about the children. They are thinking about themselves. Because at the end of the day, no matter how bad it got, like... Typically, I wouldn't want to be talking to my baby daddy for anything, like, honestly. But it's not even about him. It's about my children, because they love him. They love their father, and I cannot keep them away from him. So I will plan all the weekends and holidays and all of that so they can spend time with him, because it is for them. It's not for me. I'm no longer in that picture. I obviously didn't fit there. I don't belong there. I have found my space that I belong, and I'm enjoying it. I think it's really simple. People are selfish, and so they don't want to accept that, okay, maybe I failed, or this failed, or this didn't happen. And also some people are, what you call konongo kaya. Obviously, but the mere sight of you with someone else is just aggravating me for nothing.
Right.
And that's so selfish, because especially when there are children in the mix, I think all of our feelings as adults doesn't matter. It's about the children. They are the ones who need whichever other partner that's missing in the equation. They need to spend time with them and enjoy the presence. So, Charlie, it's not a big deal at all.
I see.
Me, my baby daddy, and my person that I was here, if they are together, then my head is even paining me, because at some point I felt like, nah, they are becoming too close.
Too close for your
Don't do that.
Brenda.
Yep.
How do you balance attention, giving your child attention and your partner attention?
I think now
Which is more and which is less? Or is
I
it...
think it's on the
How do you maintain a balance?
Because my daughter is now a teenager, so she understands a lot of things now. So she's no longer that clingy. That sometimes when I will even call her that, oh, come, I've missed you, and she's like, oh, how am I doing? Like, you know. So she gives me my space. So it's I'm the one who is now even craving for her time and all of that.
And you know, there are kids that are very jealous and very territorial.
Oh,
You know,
no.
you can't have my mom. My mom, I'm like that actually.
Oh, no. Okay, so raising my daughter, one of the things I was intentional about was her emotional intelligence. I was so intentional about raising her in such a way that she understands emotions and all of that. So that, because I'm not going to be with her all the time. She's not going to be with me all the time. So if she has that emotional intelligence and there is another person in the picture, because if she is there, by all means, I'm going to have other kids. So if she doesn't have that emotional intelligence and I have other kids, how is she going to relate with those kids? So I was very intentional about that, and I can say that she's more than I even bargained for. My mom is always like, you got a better version of a child than she did, because I was a very troublesome kid growing up. But I wasn't clingy to my mom either.
Right.
Or maybe it's because there are a lot of aunties, uncles always around. So there's always somebody giving attention.
Right. Natalia, let me get back to you.
Yes.
So we've got about 10 minutes to
Okay.
head out. What would be your advice to a woman out there in preparing herself, you know, to get into a relationship, you know, for someone who has a kid, you know, getting into a new relationship? How should she prepare herself? Or how should she...
So she's getting with a man who has
with a
children.
man, yeah.
Oh boy, I'd say don't do it. Honestly,
Don't do it?
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's too much drama. Honestly, I won't do it. Again, my double standards. I mean, I was a single mother hoping somebody would come for me, but I'm not so keen.
So don't do it. Don't do what? Like,
Don't get with a man who has kids.
No, not with a man who has kids.
Okay.
You have a kid.
Okay.
In getting into
A
another
relationship
relationship, how do you
with
psych
with a
yourself?
single
How do
man.
you prepare yourself? Yeah.
First of all, there's no preparation. Live your life. There's nothing like I'm preparing for a man. Live your life. If you're schooling, school. If you're working, work. Take care of your kids. Do the best you can do and just live your life. If a man comes your way and he's worth the trouble, by all means. But don't sit down. There's nothing to prepare. Live like you would live like
Without-
a normal person with nothing going on. Just live. Live your life. If you don't get any man and you're 70, so be it. If you get a man, fine. But there's really nothing to be done. You know, just live your life. You know.
And what would your advice be to, you know, how a lot of single girls now opt to actually give birth for people without, you know, any commitment? Is that something that
So give best for people.
for
like,
people without marriage?
I mean,
It's their choice,
it's
huh?
their choice. If that's what you want to do, listen. Life is to be lived. Yes, we make mistakes. Yes, there are things that, you know, if you think back, you would have done differently or you wouldn't have done at all. But once you've made the mistake, you've made it. It's a part of your life. But live, by all means, live. You know, do everything you want to do. Travel, have fun, work hard, make money, take care of yourself. You know, if I don't have any man coming my way again until I die, so help me God, so be it. It's not a problem for me at all. I mean,
Yeah.
what am I missing really? This is not an X-rated show, but trust me, Noella, with all the sex I've had in my life already,
Yeah.
I've had
What
enough
else?
sex to last me a lifetime.
Right.
I'm not missing anything from any man. You know what I mean? I work hard, I make money. I am perfectly okay. So with or without a man, and I have kids, thank God for that. This is something that people pray and do all kinds of medical stuff to get. I am perfectly okay.
Okay.
You know, so just live your life. Whether or not you have kids, whether you have kids, you don't have kids, it doesn't matter. You're a young woman coming up, work hard, make money for yourself, take care of yourself, do the things you love, and live, really. Man or no man, Charlie, we move. We're going to be okay.
Brenda,
Yes.
you?
Yeah, I think
She said it all.
said it all.
Okay, then I'll ask how you balance your career
Okay.
with your, your child and then relationship. How do you balance?
Okay, so I wasn't in Accra. I was in the north for, I think, 6 years before I came down. But my girl was in Accra with my family.
Your family.
Yeah, so I think it's been easy. It's been very easy. There have not been stress or
right.
anything.
Lucky you.
Yeah, lucky me. Actually.
All right, so let's do
Lucky me.
some messages. Nana Kwesi says a lot of miseducation through religion, tradition, and culture is the birth of the victimization of single mothers. The stated above practices shift the responsibility of keeping a relationship to the female, hence the blame game and assumptions of how bad and spoiled she is when a child is involved and it didn't work out. Yes, having a child comes with responsibilities not everyone can handle, which is fair because of individual differences. So why do you assume, judge, and call her names for being a single mother? Life shouldn't be complicated. However, the ways and beliefs of humans makes it so. Being a single mother is not a disease and a death sentence. If you ain't up for it, move quietly and stop the victimization. Hashtag single moms are bae. Actually, on this note, prior to actually us coming live, when I posted a flyer, Annie Dusty was like, Charlie, the Bon Tuesday be pass. So Annie Dusty, shouts to you. Seriously, single mothers are far more choosy nowadays.
What does that even mean?
Well, I don't sympathize with any single mother at all. 2 of my exes are now single parents. I care about their children, but I can't have sympathy for the woman. Actually, when I was really serious with each of them at the particular time, they considered me a nobody. My struggles to please each of them was to no avail. Anyway, I've moved on and I'm happy with my wife now. That's Kay from Tantra Hill. Any reactions?
So
I think it speaks to...
If you're happy with your wife, what is this commentary for, honestly?
I know, right?
If
I
you're
think it
happy with
speaks
your
to-
wife, be with your wife.
I think there's a little bit of bitterness.
I know, right?
there.
If you're happy with your wife,
Right.
okay,
I mean,
why don't you just be there
But
and
I think
enjoy?
it speaks to the issue about standards I was talking about. It looks like a lot of men or society out there think that if you have a child,
Then
as
you
a
don't-
woman, you
then
should
you
at
can't
least
But
be a
I
bit
think
humble.
they always forget that it's the men that get the women pregnant.
Yeah.
I mean, given that now, even still with the IVF, you still need sperm to
Yeah.
make a baby.
Yeah.
So it's still,
I
mean,
don't even know what that means. Choosy. What
yeah,
does that even
why
mean?
can't
What does
Thanks.
that even mean?
Thanks for this conversation. It is really a motivational message which has encouraged some of us, and that's from Bernice. Bernice, you're not alone, right? In this
You'll be
crazy-
fine, Bernice.
Yeah,
Just live
you'll
your
be fine.
life.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got few minutes to head out of the studio. Last words, Natalia.
Last words. I think I don't want to repeat myself, but I would say that just live your life, okay? Find a good balance. Love your children. Because the thing is that even, let's say you're not a single, whatever, maybe you didn't have kids, and you marry a man
Yeah.
and have kids.
Yeah.
Sometimes the man will even die and leave you. He'll still bring you back to the same whatever, you know. So just live, really. Me, it's all about living for me. Live your life. Be happy. Do the things that you enjoy, things that you love doing, and just take care of your children. Be sure that you put them in a position and give them a lot of education so that they don't make the mistakes that you made, you know, and you're going to be just fine. It's not that big a deal. Me, I should have had like 6 kids. I should have been a single mother of about 6 or 7 kids, so that if you met me as a mom, say I have 8 kids, and then you can do your worst. What is it? I don't know why they
You're a
behave
troublemaker, you, Natalia. You, Brenda.
So just do you. Do what's comfortable for you. I mean, yeah. and live. Like,
Right.
life is supposed to be enjoyed with just the little you have. Just be happy in your small corner. Me, I'm always happy.
Big corner.
Very
big corner.
corner. Yeah, we have to explain. I'm always happy. Like,
Right.
life is too stressful to
That's right.
carry all that burden of what people think, what people see, or not. Yeah.
Anyways, ladies, I've had a wonderful, fantastic time hanging out with you. I'm
so
a
have
single person. I'm yet to have kids, but I've had so many takeouts from what you've had to
Yes.
share,
Get married first.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're a marriage person,
Mm.
but if you're not, have the kids. Yeah. Not everybody is a marriage
Sure,
person.
sure. Thank you so much, Natalia. So I've been having a conversation with the troublemaker, Natalia. She's a media personality and a counseling psychologist. And of course, Brenda Mausi Agbo. You are a mental health nurse. Which institution do you work with? You wanna say?
Adabraka Polyclinic.
Okay, so
Yeah.
anybody who wants to, but
I'm
you are
always
hooked
there. Yes.
at the
I
moment, and
am.
Natalia is hooked as well.
I'm there.
Anyways, this has been Strong and Sassy right here on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Noella Kharyne Yalley. I sat in for Inimwa Inim Adu. The UCL commentary with the sports team is up next. I want to say thank you to Mirabel, to Anita, of course, Abekua Sankofi. I'm the only one who calls him that. He's Abeku, but I call him Abekua. So shouts to all the team. And of course to Edem Naite. Shouts to you, boss lady. My